Hey guys, Andy here. It feels like quite a long time since I've done a sort of a phone unboxing or a phone review, so I'm really pleased to say that my Redmi 5 Plus arrived today, all the way from China. So I call it a Redmi 5 Plus, I think that's what it's supposed to be called, but then at the same time I see it called a Xiaomi Redmi Note 5. So I think it used to be called the Note 4, I think now they're just called the Redmi 5 Plus, but again I go to GSM Arena, which is my sort of one-stop shop for all kind of specifications and things, and it's called a Xiaomi, I think I'm supposed to call it, Redmi Note 5, and in brackets is the Redmi 5 Plus. I'm not sure which it's supposed to be then. I think it's the Redmi 5 Plus. When I ordered it from AliExpress, and I'll try and remember to put a link to the actual person I ordered from, it's called, so it's the global ROM Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus. So there's a Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus there. Who knows? Anyway, let's not spend too much time about it. Let's just look at the phone, shall we? So the box, it looks nice enough. It's quite sort of nice and pretty. Nice red and white. Reminds me of a OnePlus box, I suppose, or the original OnePlus box I had. So that's, in we go. It's quite, oh, it's a case. Okay, so we've got a case with it. It's quite nice to get one of. There's the device itself. So if you haven't heard of Xiaomi, they are a pretty big phone manufacturer. They're more based in China. They don't particularly sell in Europe or even America. Just a few of their phones. So you can be forgiven for not knowing who they are, but actually they're a very big phone company, maybe the 5th biggest distributor of phones or sellers of phones in the world. And after that feels pretty solid. What's the weight on this? So I have got all the specs open. 180 grams. So it's a fair old size. It's a 5.99 inch screen, 2160 by 1080p. But I'll come back to the phone in a second. Let's just check what else we have in the box. So we've got some instructions, I think. We've got a charging cable. Micro USB. That is so disappointing. So I think this phone's pretty new out. It was only like February or March that it got released. It's April now, late April. So that the charger that comes with it is US style, but the people I bought from did include an adapter. Now as it goes, obviously I've got micro USB charger dotted all around the place, so I'm really not overly bothered by that. We've got the pin for the, is that it? I don't know. So I think that's it. That's actually quite a lot, I would say, of wasted space in that box, don't you think? Look how deep that box is. And actually all there is in that bit is the charging block, cable, and a, mind you, I mean, they got a case in there as well. You would have thought actually they could probably have done the box half the size. Not that it particularly matters, does it? Let's go back to the actual device. Let's move that out of the way, in fact. So let's peel. I was looking for a tab to peel off the, come on, there we go. Let's get rid of that. Then let's power it on. So on the right hand side we've got a power button with the volume rocker just above it. Left hand side we've got the SIM tray. On the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, something you'll be very pleased to know about. I guess that's a microphone for noise cancelling. That there is an IR blaster, so in theory you can turn your TV on and do other things with the phone. Big on sort of Chinese devices, not so much on European devices. Double or dual grill, but only one speaker, and as mentioned the micro USB port, and then on the back the camera, which is 12 megapixel, the flash, and then the fingerprint sensor. The operating system, as you can see, is MIUI 9. Lightning fast, apparently. Yeah, UK already. Good. Connect to network. So it's got 5G. I mean, it does seem quite fast and snappy so far. Oh, it's got a little icon showing 5G. I don't know that I've seen that in other 2.4G, 5G, 5G. That's, I mean, yeah, it's quite cool. Terms and conditions. Okay. Checking for SIM cards, skip this step. No, let's leave that for the moment. Do you have a Google account? So I'm now logged into my own Google account. Yeah. Oh, I have got, let's skip that. So I have got a Mi account, I think, somewhere. I'll come back to that later. So let's set up the fingerprint. So, add your fingerprint. One thing you need to remember with Chinese devices, for some reason, they want to look like iOS devices. Added successfully. I don't entirely know, I guess just because they're so, they're big over in China. Improve, yeah. What's the difference there? I'm a bit... I don't really know what we're... I don't know. Okay, let's leave it as default for the minute. Setup complete. Loading apps. So it all seems quite sharp and snappy. Oh, why can't I pull down the screen? Mind you, I think the screen's faded out there. Need to wait for the apps to load. So this was to give you a bit more information on kind of the process of ordering and buying. So I went to AliExpress. Let me see if I can check the seller was Mizela. So M-I space Z-E-A-L-E-R store. Mizela store. I paid for the gold standard. I paid 130. It's down to 127.36 right now. The black one is like £7 or £8 more. I probably would have preferred the black one, but to be honest, it's not worth £8 more to me. The estimated delivery time is 20 to 40 days, and it took, well, 19 days exactly to come for me. I ordered it on the 6th of April. It's now the 25th of April, so that's 19 days. So that's pretty good. I didn't get charged any import fees. I was a little surprised in some ways. There is a chance you get stung sort of another £12 or so. But then at the same time, maybe if you use these Mizela store, who have a 99.3% positive feedback, because they did label it up as like they said, what did they say, smartphone? They said something like, it didn't lie on the cover, except for the fact that it said it was $23 worth, which is a bit of a lie. So, well, no, it's an outright lie. But I'm not going to grass them up because it meant that I didn't get charged import tax. So, we're in the device. 22 updates available. Google location history turn on for this door. Yes, turn on to Google location. Have I turned it on? Yeah, I think I have. So no physical buttons, you'll notice down the bottom, or even sort of touch buttons down the bottom. It's on screen. What should we have a look at? Let's look once more at. So there's the. Oh, okay, so we get sort of a two-stage drop-down toggle. It's fine. Update. Oh, it's an actual OS update, so I'll do that. I'll do that afterwards, though. Okay, that's just. There's a button that toggles us between the. Let's go into the actual settings. I like it. Does look. It looks nice and clean. I much prefer stock Android. One of my big issues with Xiaomi devices has often been the software. And so there's my security alert for the. It's all very well. But I've got to say, it's very nicely presented. And you tend to find there's little bits and pieces where people, you see people saying, I'm having trouble with my Bluetooth, I'm having trouble with my Wi-Fi, I'm having trouble with locations, or there's just various things that happen that you can't help think, oh, is that because Xiaomi are not sort of fully integrated with the sort of the Android way? I don't know. Or I'm sure I've had times where I don't get notifications reliably when I've got things like Hangouts installed. Let's have a quick look at the camera. So let's bring back in the. Oh, I think somehow I just took a picture. If you can see this, but we've got the nice red. So I will want to. Oh, that's not very well in focus actually. Let's have another go at that. That looks a bit sharper. So I mean the reds look very good. It might be a little unfair. The screen behind is very white and bright, and it does look a bit sort of washed out behind there. That's the AliExpress page, in fact. So we'll have to see. I'll see how that goes in in testing. Obviously, I'm going to do various different videos testing things like the cameras and stuff like that. I do want to install. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to run a few of the updates. I might even do the OS update. I want to get Geekbench installed, so we can just run that and get a rough idea of the processor power. When I come back, I will also go through the specs of the device, so I'll be back in a second. So welcome back. I think I've been about half an hour waiting for the update to do, updating the different apps. We're all up to date now. I've also installed Geekbench, so I'd like to see how that copes, so I'll start that off now. And while that's running, I'll go through a few of the specs. So I've mentioned the screen already, I've mentioned the weight already. Corning Gorilla Glass, it doesn't say which version. Android 7.1.2 at the moment. So the chipset is a Snapdragon 625, which is kind of their mid-range option. The processor, the CPU, is an octa-core 2.0 GHz Cortex-A53. That's pretty good. The GPU is an Adreno 506. That's pretty good as well. It does have a memory card slot, it says. Oh, it's in the second, so in the side. Oh, I've put the case on as well, you might have noticed. It's quite a nice rubbery good feel case. So it can take a SD card in the second SIM card slot. Anything else to see? So this one has 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, so plenty there. And here we are with the final Geekbench score, the multi-core 5289. I think that's pretty good for a £130 device. I mean, I think some of the top-end devices are up over 7,000 at the moment, but that's okay. You're paying £800 odd for them. 5,000 for a £130 phone. I think that's really good. That's really good. It doesn't surprise me, some of the specs that we're talking about here. I've kind of mentioned the camera's 12 megapixel. I didn't mention the front-facing camera, 5 megapixel. I dashed outside as well, just after things are kind of updated, and had a quick play with. So there's a couple of pictures I can show you. The camera doesn't seem too bad. I mean, it's not fantastic. So I took a picture of the case, the box. I turn HDR on. It's not, to me, that's a really strong red, and the picture it took is a slightly purple. But I guess you can probably fiddle with color balancing to fix that. The detail looks okay. I took another picture of just kind of the back garden, and that looked alright. It seemed to cope reasonably well with the. It looks a bit cloudy there actually. It's quite a bright sky, and it seemed to do okay balancing the contrasts and the light, the exposure. That's not a bad picture. I mean, you zoom in on the trees, making it 100%, and they're not. It's not an amazing camera. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'll throw in my Pixel 2 XL, but it's a reasonable camera. I did a little bit of video, just panning around the garden, just to see how that copes. It can go up to 4K. This particular one, because all the rest of this video that I'm editing is going to be in 1080p, so I've only filmed in 1080p. But the video looks to be okay. And then I took a quick selfie of myself. Again, it struggles a little bit with the exposure of the sky behind, but generally that's not a bad picture. You're not going to get ridiculed if you was to post that on Instagram. So I think that's kind of most. Oh, do you know what we haven't done? We've not sort of. Oh, yeah, I've got tap to wake set up. So we didn't really check the fingerprint sensor. So that seems pretty quick. I'm alright with that. So here we go. We do have YouTube installed. Good. It all does seem. Oh, I just know. I've just gone over 15,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, everybody. I hadn't seen that before. All the text, it seems a bit big because it's only a 1080p screen, and I guess I'm just used to my Pixel 2 XL where things are a bit, I don't know, more, a bit smaller basically. It's all a bit like, but that's okay. Right. So what's a good video?
LifeX recently introduced Tile. It's a beautiful LED wall display, and it's got lots of things I like and a couple things I don't. So let's get into it.
So like that, it's got the zoom to fill, which my Pixel has to make sure it fills the whole. Let's get a good old Ed. Give me something. There we go. Just to sort of see really how the speakers sound. I'd say that sounds okay. It's not a great speaker, but there's a reasonable bit of volume to it. And actually the screen looked really good, I thought. Quite impressive. Again, you've got to keep... Everything's relative, isn't it? So if I paid £800 for this, I'll probably go, the camera's not so great, the screen could be doing a bit more punch to it. But it wasn't, it was £130, and I'm looking at this thinking, it's actually a really good device for £130. So obviously at this point, this is just my unboxing and my first look. I know a lot of people sort of comment saying, great review. It's not a review, it is just a quick look around the device. Turn my doorbell down. It's just a quick look around the device. I will be doing a review in the next kind of week or so. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you have any particular questions, drop them down the bottom there in the comments, and I'll try and remember to answer them when I do the review. So for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon.